Right, let us proceed with Darkwood, game developed by Acid Wizard Studios. You may call me Hauffman. Now, we are currently tasked, if I'm not mistaken, to gather some wood in that case. How much wood do we have? 8 planks, and you know what? Before I do anything else, I think I'm going to gather the wood because I suspect it's getting late, even though it's kind of hard to tell as it's raining. There's some wood all the way up there. Let's get to it. Now I was actually checking the store for Darkwood on Steam, and I took my time to see how is the review from other players upon the game. Yes, and well, I'm quite surprised it doesn't have many negative reviews. Yes, many well, let's say complaints. Yes, about that. Let's not bother him. And but I kind of got curious about what people have to say about the game. Yes, against the game even. Let's say, or to complain about the game. Most of them say some state their point of view. Yes, their negative points, but still praise the game for what it has achieved. And I think it shouldn't be any different. Yes, it's hard to not recognize what this game brought into the market, right? But let's focus a little bit on what they have said there, because it might be interesting as it might counter what I've commented here, or might be a different point of view from what I've been presenting here so far. I've talked about. Since I have some time, let's. Oh, here's the Wolfman. Let's talk to him. Let's see, yes, the Wolfman's camp. Is he there? Oh, he's right there. But what is over here? Is there anything else for us to loot around here? Apparently not. Oh, there's a dead body. Let me just talk to the Wolfman first. Then I'm going to talk about this review I've seen because it has some interesting points, like I told you. Wolfman in this camp. Let's see. Yeah, on the I can smell your stench from far away, mate. Alright, so I don't know if it's the fact that I actually stink, or if I'm rotten, or just because he's a dog, in a way that he can actually smell people's odor, smell from far away. I don't know how to call it. What's the word? But I think he has a good ability to smell things. Yes, mate. Let's see. Apparently he doesn't have anything to offer us, like any comment, or even I can't even buy anything from them. So this was kind of a waste of time, was it not? I suppose so. Okay, let's get back to what I was talking about. It's weird because I could swear there were some crates to loot. Oh, I see. So on my playthrough there were some crates here for me to loot, and it's getting dark, as you can see here. I think we are going to face another nighttime. Are you ready for that? You better freaking be, and I better be freaking ready for it too, because Jesus. So this is what I came from. Yeah, this is what I came from. So yeah, this user actually talked about the game's control, which were a bit clunky, he said, and he complained a bit about, or pointed out about the combat. Yeah, I know, I think I already passed it, haven't I? Because those wood pieces were really close to it. What am I? Okay, no, I just have to head down. He pointed out that the combat was actually kind of complicated, or clunky, I think was the word. Yes, he wasn't very satisfied about the combat. Now, we didn't really have the chance to check the combat properly. I feel like there's a dog. Perhaps this is the time for me to get to combat properly, let's say, but not really. The dog did not got to chase me. So while I agree that the combat is actually a little tricky, yes, it's not as well, it's not as easy as in most of games not very standard or orthodox, perhaps I can call it too. Oh god damn it, I need to get my planks. Let's actually saw some wood pieces here. Oh, I don't have any more. Let's get this free and join it with the other boards I have stored on my workbench there. So yeah, the combat definitely gets some needs some getting used to. It's challenging, but I think still think it's fair. Yes, it fits the let's say the horror aspect of the game. You know what? I think I'm going to board this up too, so I have to worry only about one entrance instead of two. Let's barricade like that, and then I can get out through here, or perhaps through one of the doors. I don't know, something like that. And when I just started playing the game, I would die constantly. That's certainly. And how does that actually work on people's mind? I wonder. Well, I of course it all depends on each person, but I do think that it actually. There you go. The night time is coming. We better be. I'm going to do something here. Perhaps we'll get some visit if I stay by the door. Yeah, I know there's this little trick to get a certain event happening. So when you actually get defeated, you feel disencouraged. I feel like. Um, we really like things easy, I suppose, or we really like to feel well when playing a game. Feel like we are capable, and when those expectations do not get matched or met, it's very easy for us to actually start to get angry, or I don't know, in some cases even sad, perhaps. But I think that it takes a little patience, yes, and a little investment. Not much, let's say, not much like, let's say, did you hear something? Like in Dark Souls, for an example, which have a much higher skill ceiling, yes, or much steep. There we go. Hello, who's there? I cannot open this now, of course. But I could go outside. I don't have any torches on me, do I? He will knock once. I think I can go outside and check if there is anyone there. If I can get through the goddamn stools I placed here. Let's see if we can. We will not be finding anything out there. I know that alright, but just for you to see, yes, that there's really nothing on the other side. Let's see. What is it? There we go. That's what I was looking for. An invitation. I'm going to read this later, yes. Oh, oh, this is bad. I need to get back immediately. If I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Is that bad event? I don't recall this event, to be entirely sincere. What happened? Yeah, I don't know, I recall it, yes. This souls here that try and get, yeah, something is lurking in the shadow. I should stay close to the light. Now I don't know if that happens because of this perk of mine, yes, the shadows, or if it's something that naturally happens in the game. I have no clue if it's something that you get no matter what, or yeah, you can see most of the lights go off, so you have to stay close to the lights that still are lit up and pray that this light stays on. It will stay on, as I already know that. But I don't know if that's the skill working, or if it's an event that happens no matter if you disregarding or independently of you picking up skills or not. There we go. We are back online. Yeah, very interesting events they choose for the nighttime. There we go, we're going to be visited by someone. He's probably going to come up through the door. That's what they usually do, and perhaps they will have the chance to show you a little bit of the combat, shall we? So, yeah, that event with the ghost was actually kind of just to introduce, yes, that. to let you know that that does exist. And actually they were quite fair by telling you that, letting you know what happens, yes, when there's such an event. They could have been kind of assholes and just let you find out on your own, yes, by staying on the dark, but that would make the players actually get frustrated to not know what was happening to them and what to do to avoid that. So the game developers and the game itself actually, well, not the game itself, but the game developers actually were quite fair by at least giving you the tools to survive such event without getting lost. Yes, it's this game is. I got the headset. They say there comes the daylight. Let's wait for it. Then I can continue. Otherwise, you might not hear me. Where's the guy? I don't see him. There we go. Out to our third day. Yes. Oh, and the trade is right at our face. And as you can see there, we got 100 reputation. I thought that in this first area we only got 50 reputation instead of 100. But better yet, yes. Don't mind me, or they're saying I don't mind that. It's actually another interesting thing. Yes, as you look through. On your site there's one picture, and out of your site it's another one. You can see there's a lot of roots on the floor. When you look at them, they disappear. A nice touch from the developers. But as I was telling you regarding the developers, does he say anything? As I approach him, the man drops a sack from his back to the floor with visible relief. So he's kind of rooting for me. I notice a smile on his face through the mate, how do you say that? I don't know. Visor of his helmet. The man nods in greeting. So he knows me. We're kind of friends, perhaps. Perhaps he's one of my kind. I'm one of his kind. And perhaps this mask is to keep that gas which we have in our house inside his visor. So perhaps he can travel by night. I'm not sure. He doesn't look very human, if you ask me, but who knows. Let's trade with him. See what we can buy. So I can what should I buy here, or should I save some money to get some of the stuff which are very useful. I still have one. I will need a lot of lockpicks, I know that, right, but do I want to spend my money like that right now? Most of these things are not very useful right now. I don't really need it immediately, but getting them is not that bad of an idea. Well, with exceptions, right, such as the bullets, which we're not going to find a weapon for anytime soon. I don't think I'm going to buy anything. Should I buy something? No, it's just too early in the game. We're going to find a lot of stuff around, so I'm not going to bother with any of that. Oh yeah, so the invitation, before I forget and get back to the topic that we're talking about, another thing I haven't gone over is the goddamn journal. We're going to have to read that eventually. Wait, some pages are missing. I never noticed that. Well, we are going to check that. Where was I? Oh yeah, invitation. So on this night we got actually this invitation for a celebration behind the cornfield in the southern edge of the dry meadow. And he gave me a code which is to open a door that you can find there. Yeah, this is actually interesting because on my playthrough, when they knocked upon the door, and the day after, I didn't go on the night to check the what was it? Yes, wasn't that crazy. When I checked the invitation, there was a power outage and the game quit without saving. So when I came back, I couldn't check the number for the door. I couldn't check the invitation itself. They wouldn't deliver it again. Unfortunately, I missed that part down there. So I'm going to get over there at some point, and it will be something new for me too. Yes, I haven't been down there yet, but I heard some bad stories about that place. We are going to find out about that eventually. What am I going to do here now? How about turning off the goddamn generator first? Sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Yeah, there goes some light, some fuel wasted. So I left a couple of thoughts unfinished. The first one I think was the second one was regarding how the developer said the game was unfair, but they actually did it not unfair. The game was unforgiven, but it is unforgiven in a good, in a proper way. Yes, they don't really go full asshole. Let's say they don't go asshole at all. They just go challenging instead. Yes, they give the player the proper. They give the player the proper tools, and then they ask the player to use it properly. Yes, to survive. You have the basic. Now it's up to you to actually. Where am I going to go to now? Let's check this. There's some dogs here, and let's go up there. Let's go up there. Did I hear something? I don't think so. So it's up to the player to actually check to to use that knowledge he has in order to survive. I can see very well in this darkness here, but it will have to do. Let's go. You know what? Let's go up there through this western edge here. So perhaps we can find some bodies, some loot, whatnot. So the other thing I was talking about was this player complaining. Well, talking about, not necessarily complaining, about the controls. Yeah, I don't know. I think that the controls are pretty not necessarily easy. Can I lure him into the? Okay. No, he's too smart for that. Am I going to fall for it? Oh, he's right there. Oh, there he comes. Yeah, I didn't kill it. Yes, it killed itself, and I didn't lost the metal scrap. So I actually used the environment to deal with the dog. Good when that happens. Now I have this area free, and I got some meat too, which I can use to lure these animals out of my way or lure them into my weapon. Yes, in a manner of speaking, I can get them distracted with the meat, while that I can then there's some people on the ground here. Well, that I can hit them when they are unaware. Let's say. I've been here. Yes, I have. So, oh, this guy hadn't searched the idea. So, more and more guys to loot down here. There's a lot of them around here. I wonder if they are dead because of the, no, they died of starvation, so it wasn't because of the Wolfman. Yeah, I don't know yet what's the background of the Wolfman, if they attack people, if he eats people, what the hell he does. But I'm sure we're going to find out all about him in due time. Or not, yes. Perhaps this game is kind of like Limbo, which doesn't give you any information. Even though this game has given far more information already than Limbo have ever thought of doing so, right? Not that it's a bad thing, not at all. Limbo did an extreme good job on its game. Well, not Limbo, but who are the guys? That something is the name of the studio. They did a very good job with that game. Death Play, I think it is. Anyway, so the controls are actually, I think it's much easier to deal with the controls, since all you have to do pretty much is use the WSAD, yes, to move, and then use the mouse to point. Yeah, so navigating is not a problem. The combat, yes, I was talking about that, and I haven't quite finished it. But I will not be able to finish that thought right now, as we are out of time once more. So I do thank you for your time. I hope you come by the next episode, as I'm going to return to save the game, yes, on our house. So, but I'm not going to show you that. So I invite you to come by the next episode, so when we continue with the works, with the analysis and discussions over Darkwood, right? I invite you to take your time and leave a comment or a point of view upon the game on the comment section below the video. Yeah, so what do you think, what do you have to say, what do you have to share, but just be respectful about it, be respectful about other people's point of views, or just try to be civilized. Yes, let's all try to be civilized so when discussing and doing so. Anyway, see you by the next episode. Until then.